Good morning. This is day 138 on my hike from Mexico to Canada on the Pacific Crest Trail. It is a little before 6:30. I was up and moving at 5:15. I'm pretty sure I heard some elk last night and this morning. It made a very mystical, high-pitched, almost like whistle. I think that's what that was. It was pretty cool, very cozy and cool. You can see the moon up there is looking really cool. I presume that is Venus behind it. It could be Jupiter too. I had to offload a bunch of apps for this vlog, so I don't have my Sky Night app anymore. But yeah, we'll see you down trail. Morning, everyone. I've been hiking with this awesome guy. His name's Hopper from LA. He is crushing it. So you said you're late 50s?
57.
57. Hasn't really skipped a mile, just like me.
Only what I have to with the fire closures, which hasn't been much.
Exactly. And it is quite a feat. He started a few weeks after me, and it's been really cool getting to know him. But yeah, he's crushing it out here. And just retired, right? After working for a long time. So
April 1st I retired, and April 26th I started.
Amazing. So yeah, we'll see you down the line. Well, I just took probably like a 20 to 30 minute break, probably 25 minutes. I was walking with Hopper that whole time. What a cool guy. Really interesting to chat with. And then made a new friend. She was just kind of getting her day started, and he knew her, so we kind of stopped to talk to her for a bit. I needed to stop, though. I was in such good convo with Hopper. I didn't want to stop, but my plantar fasciitis is just next level hurting today on both feet, but especially my right foot. I don't know if it's the pack weight or what, but I had to stop and try to massage it out. It was pretty bad. And I don't know if it's that or we definitely were climbing up in the conversation maybe in the terrain or what, but I've now been hiking for over 3 hours if you include this little break, and I've only done 5.5 miles, which is really bad. Usually around this time I'm closer to double that. So I don't know. I think it's the elevation profile and my plantar fasciitis. I was leading the way up front, so yeah. I hear voices. Okay. So yeah, I don't know what the deal is, but I got up nice and early to try to get a head start on this day. I was hoping to hit high 20s of miles. And I am just not on pace for that at all. Chatting with Hopper reminded me a lot of one of my uncles who's following this along pretty closely. So it was really cool. Just felt very extra level of familiarity or comfort there because of that association. But they're a little bit ahead because I had to take my morning poop, which I put off for a while. So I'm back flowing. Hopefully after massaging my heels, the plantar fasciitis for me hurts most where the plantar fascia connects to the heel. Hopefully it won't flare up like it was. That was pretty bad. I'm sure the pack weight's not helping. I probably have about 30 to 35 pounds on my back. I only, plus water. So that's kind of excluding water. It's probably I would guess somewhere 33, somewhere around there. And again, this pack's really it doesn't have the design for that much. So anyways, I saw a couple deer today while we were walking, but I also saw, I think what was an elk at the top of this rock cliff. I 100% saw it for a few seconds. I just don't know if it was a big deer or something, but I'm pretty sure it was an elk, which is cool. I feel a little beat up today. I don't know why I'm getting blisters now after 500 miles in these shoes. So the one on the right, without Leuco tape, it's really a pain in the butt. I just found some moleskin in a hiker box. Tried putting it on the last 2 days. It just slides around. So the one on my left foot in the same place is kind of coming back. Thankfully it hardened last time, like little callus there. So, but yeah, every step right now is wearing and tearing right in that spot, in the inside parts about 1 inch up on my heel. I don't know why. It's really annoying now all of a sudden it's doing that. And like I said, it's just a really slow start. I don't really know why. I mean, it had to have been conversation plus plantar fasciitis combination. I was leading though, so I mean, I guess there are a few times I might have gone a little slower for the combo, but not much. My feet were really hurting. Thankfully right now they're not. I massaged them out, see if that helps, but it was as bad as it's been in a long time, since like probably the desert. So yeah, the pack weight's not helping. I mean, I haven't had a break since Ashland. That's over 3 weeks now. Like an actual day off. I've had a couple of half days, if you can call it that, but really I'm just in town running around doing a bunch of errands. That's when I hurt my shin again. I was running around Cascade Locks and Hood River. So it's not really a rest, but it's still somewhat change of the routine and a bit of a break in that sense. But yeah, I'm really kind of just struggling a bit today, which is a bummer and really unfortunate because one, I got up way earlier intentionally to give myself more of a full day, and two, there's still probably going to be over 4,000 feet of elevation gain and more in descent today. But relative to other Washington days that I've had and coming up, today's mileage should be a little more manageable. I am not capitalizing on this situation at all. In fact, I've dug myself a hole already now that I need to climb out of for the day. Good news, last night I took the time to sew the hole in my pants pocket, so now I can actually put my phone back in there. And got back to a few people I had to respond to on my Garmin messages. So little chores like that. Today's chore is I need to figure out the logistics of ordering what should be my last pair of PCT shoes. I'm just gonna reorder the ones I have now. They've been the best. Although these blisters are really starting to bug me. I don't know why they're for me now. It might even have to do with the Superfeet insoles I put in, like where that's hitting my foot. I don't know, but I've had those in the whole time, so I don't know why now. Anyways, this is the best shoe I've had for me personally this whole hike though, so I'm just gonna reorder the shoe and maybe get different insoles, but I gotta figure the logistics out of that, which means I need service, and it's a bit of a process trying to figure out where I can send it and if it'll get there in time and just all of that. So, but I do think I need another pair. If I didn't get a new pair, I'd be pushing these over or almost 1,000 miles, which is just too much. Even if they look like they're in good shape, I'm told the midsoles can kind of wear down and it's just not good for you. So hopefully it's not a marketing scam by the shoe companies. That's mostly a joke. Yeah, that's the chore for today or tomorrow, but hopefully today. I want to know what that was, that like high-pitched magical whistle. It almost had like a melody to it, like a singing cadence sound. I am presuming they're elk. I think that's what it is, but I want to look this up later. Heard a lot of it this morning when I was walking, or a good amount, and early this morning when I was packing up, and also late last night. And it wasn't just in one spot. It was kind of for a while, so. Well, admittedly, I'm a little cranky at the moment just because I just feel so exhausted at the hole and the other things I talked about. But this trail sucks right now. Like, it looks okay, but it's not. It's like a half pipe. It's not flat. So my feet are like, one's pronating and the other is whatever it's called, the opposite of that. And it just sucks. I've been walking like this for like half a mile. It's not fun walking in like a curved trail. Maybe it's a little easier to see now. It's like a curved, if you're like half pipe, like skating, but if you don't know skating, like if you took like a straw and just cut it the long way down the middle, so you had half of the hollowed out straw, basically. It's like walking in that, and it sucks.
So if you don't tip, the waitress lose money because they assume you get tipped, and so you get taxed on.
That's the water source. Oops, wrong way. This is Hopper. Or sorry, this is Hopper.
Yeah.
Obviously. Sorry. This is Tumble. But I asked them both. I guess I'm just being pissy for the last mile. They said the trail wasn't that bad, so I think I'm on one today. This is Naomi, which is Imone backwards. And Eshel. Eshel's from England. Naomi's from Belgium. But they just got here, just met them. I asked, did that last mile suck on the trail?
Horrible.
So, thank you. I guess I'm not that pissy. We got a 50-50 split now. I guess I would be the tiebreaker, so it sucked. Yeah, I feel the same way. I've thought about that too. And especially when you're doing something so challenging out here, I think that's nice to have. So coming out of that water source, we ended up, the three of us, Hopper and Tumble and me, walking together, and I was kind of in front because I was going a little faster, and then I had to pee, and now I peed for a while, probably, and it's because I cameled up because I don't want to carry it. The next water source is, there's people talking about norovirus, and because it's at this cabin in the woods and whatever, so I'm skipping that. So the next water source I'm going to get it is in 10 miles from where I last got it, but there's comments that it smells like poo, so who, do I want the norovirus water or the poo water? But anyways, I cameled up so I don't have to carry as much water, so then I naturally had to pee. I can't believe, it's kind of nice to actually see like a gauge here, because we're all kind of going the same pace, how long of the pee break sets me back. And I probably peed for like over 30-40 seconds, but I kid you not, I have to go again. And we all know I do pee a lot, but I have to go again, and I haven't even caught up yet. So think about how many times that one day I tracked it. It was like, 17, I think, at times I peed. That's really cutting into my pace, which I knew, but it's just interesting to actually see it here. And I kid you not, I'm going to have to stop right now and go again. All right, playing catch up again after my second pee. It is a beautiful day out there. I just wanted to comment on cold last night and this morning, but really, really couldn't ask for a better day for hiking. I have this weird thing going on my left ankle. I haven't mentioned it yet, but it's started happening probably a week and a half ago, and now it's been 4 days in a row, but it doesn't hurt. So I really haven't worried too much about it, but it's getting to the point where I'm now altering my gait, like how I'm walking, because it just feels so weird. It just like feels unstable and weird, but it doesn't hurt at all. When I push off with my left foot, I feel almost like a vein, or is how I describe it, kind of rolling over my ankle bone. And it happens on every step. And it's like probably been 4 days in a row now, probably for like half of the day. Like I think yesterday was like the first 8 or 9, 10 miles, and it went away, and then it came back when I kind of did that second stint towards the end. So, but it just feels unstable. And it's really starting to it's just when something feels off for that much repetition, on a normal day, I'm doing 50,000 steps a day. So, but that aside, my plantar fasciitis I feel it still, but it's not at that extreme level it was this morning, thankfully, at the moment. Thankfully, I'm on a much better trail right now, flat and smooth. Yeah, overall, body's doing good. The left ankle thing's weird, but because it doesn't hurt, I'm really not worried too much about it, but it just feels so awkward. But I just want to point out how beautiful of a day it is. Really couldn't ask for better hiking weather, at least in my preference. This is just kind of funny. I mean, there's no value add to my comments here, but seeing as we're along this journey together, and y'all are, if you've made it this far, just kind of rambling off my thoughts is half this vlog, so you can see my new friends up ahead. Well, I have to pee already again. I finally started catching up. I have to go for a third time since we left that water source. I'm going to try to hold this one because it's just ridiculous. I do this a lot on trail. I'll pee a few times, and I'm like, telling my body like, no more. You're just gonna have to deal with it. But I lean on the side of it's healthy just to like let it out and not hold it. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I tried to camel up, but I guess I'm not sweating. So just kind of letting it out. I gotta look into more how that actually works, hydration in the body with what you put in versus what you let out and sweat. And I remember when I was training, I almost did the military, and I was training for something pretty intense. And as I was doing it, there was something I was doing that was kind of quite challenging, and you had to hold your breath for a while. And I had a friend who was like a lifeguard or swim coach kind of there helping me, and I remember him telling me, just, when you feel like you have to pee, your bladder's only like 25% full. You gotta think the same thing with your lungs. And like I've always remembered that. I've actually never fact checked that, but I think it's probably accurate to some degree. So like you kind of mentally override. I think I'm fairly mentally tough, but one thing I just can't seem to hold on is my bladder. For years now, I just like pee often, and I really want to understand how that works more out here, because I just cameled up to try to not have to carry as much water, but I'm clearly just peeing it out, and it's like very clear liquid that I'm peeing out, so I feel like it's mostly just water. Well, I caught back up and was leading the charge again for a while, and then I had to pee. Honestly, for a more fun trail name, it should be something around the frequency of my urination out here.
Entire life. You've traveled all around? I mean, not in the same city, but you've been in a 30-mile radius. Yeah. You've never lived anywhere else. It's like 1 or 2 years.
Well, here's the cabin. I decided to stick on the trail, but you can see my new friends out there exploring it a little more than I am. Also, I think it's probably just, who really knows with virus outbreaks and stuff, and that was years ago. I'm not actually that worried about it, but a lot of people did write comments about norovirus being here and whatever, so I'm gonna try to hike for another mile. I've done 12 and a half, and it's like noon, so I got some work to do still. I want to get another hour in before I stop for lunch. I'm hurting. But the cabin definitely has a beautiful view overlooking this meadow. Nice change from the forest. Love good little history, so I'm gonna read this out loud in real time. Government Meadow, obviously the name of the meadow. In the fall of 1853, the people of the Longmore wagon train spent 2 days in this meadow resting and preparing for their descent down the west side into the Puget Sound area. Erected August 1991 by Something Troop 330, Auburn, Washington. Okay. All right, it's 1 o'clock. I just started like an 800-foot climb over the next 3 miles, which isn't that crazy, but I'm so beat right now and tired. It is not something I want to do, but I decided I'm going to push through 3.7 miles to the next water source, the poop water. I just passed the norovirus water at the cabin, as I'm calling it, and I'm going to try to take my lunch there, which would be a later lunch, sometime probably around 2:30 at this point. It's 1 o'clock now. I think I mentioned that already, but I can't even remember. So I'm going to pop in some headphones the first time today and just try to grind this out. I'm hurting right now. I don't know what's going on with these shoes. They're just all of a sudden causing me all kinds of problems. I think like these blisters are some of the most painful I've had all trail. They're small, they're on the inside of my heel, but just bad. I feel other pains in my feet, the plantar fasciitis. I don't know if it's shoe related. Maybe they're just wearing out, but I don't get why 500 miles into these shoes, I now am getting blisters. So freaking annoying. And it's like, it's pretty not great. It hurts. Probably some of the most painful, like I said, if not the most painful blisters I've had this whole trail. I've got 2.5 2.2 miles left to go, 2.1 to go to this camp's water source. And I pretty much finished that climb of 750 feet. I think I got like 150 left or something over these next 2 miles. So a little bit of relief, but it's hard. My ankles down right now just feel awful. Quite a sight to walk out to. I just came out of covered area for a long time with the colors and sort of the contours of the logs and the bushes and the trees. Red, green, sort of gray. Very interesting. Oh man, I'm hurting. I probably have like a mile and a half left. And it looks like now where I was planning to break is going to be uncovered. Not ideal. We'll see. Maybe it's past this on the other side of that hill or something. So all these beautiful red plants are some form of berry. Might be a huckleberry of some kind. I just ate a few. Tastes pretty good. Very Christmassy with the red and all these pine trees coming back in. A pretty cool mix. I have all these presumably edible berries. I still got a little bit, just under a mile to go. I am in a lot of pain, like blister pain, and just I'm sore. I'm exhausted in the heat right now. I'm exposed. This has been a hard couple mile stretch for me. These blisters are bad. I got to do something about them. This moleskin's sucking. It's not doing jack shit. Every time I put it on, I've had to reapply it every day. And then I open my sock and it's completely moved off the blister. Like, Leukotape would last well over a week, including showers, and still be right where you put it. Really frustrating. I don't know what is going on in this area. I got to the water side. I know I mentioned it as the poop water, because look at this. There's freaking human toilet paper and waste everywhere. It's freaking disgusting. Like, what used condom of a human would just leave their shit pile there and their toilet paper next to it? I can't take credit for the used condom of a human descriptor. I read that in one of the comments about people leaving their trash out here. But there's some other very choice words in the comments at this site about the fact that there's toilet paper and wipes and poop everywhere. It's so weird. It's just all in one site. Wow, moleskin is totally worthless. Absolute trash. I had it on. Look, I have blister forming on my left one again now. It's so painful. These are the most painful blisters I've ever had, and they're small. It's reforming, and it hurts like hell. I put moleskin on it for the third day in a row, because it hasn't been holding, but I cleaned it. I pressed it hard right there. Haven't touched my sock or taken it off until now. And it wasn't in place. And it's going to be definitely the same in this one, because this one's killing me. So freaking frustrating. I need Leukotape. It's truly unbelievable how worthless this moleskin is. I had it right over this, and this is worse than it was. This is so bad. Unfreaking believable. They're hurting so much. I figured they must have moved, but I wasn't sure. And why are they blistering now? 500 miles, whatever, in. These blisters suck. Oh, man, it's so dumb, because I literally took the time to treat them, too, and that stupid moleskin doesn't stay on. Like, what a joke of a product. Why even bother? So I got 12 miles to go, and, like, the couple last miles getting here, I was basically, I don't want to say, I was kind of limping. I was really slowed down from the pain of the blisters and everything else, so I've done about 17 miles on the day. It's like I started here at lunch around 2:30. There's no water for 12 miles, so I either have to go late into night to get to the next water source, or carry, like, it's too early to stop. I don't want to lug water for overnight dry camping, cooking dinner, and the miles, like 7 or 8 miles in, right? Like, ideally, I'd want to assuming I had no blisters, no pain, and water wasn't an issue, I'd want to get at least like 8 more into hit my minimum 25 at least. But I'm not going to lug 2-3 liters I basically need of water. To get from here to 12 miles down and dry camp, I'd need like at least 3 liters. I'm not going to lug 3 liters of water for 8 miles. So I either need to push those 12 miles, which I'll probably end up doing. I'm going to have to, I have one little piece of Leuco tape I've been saving just as an absolute emergency reserve. I think it's time to use it. So irritable about these other products, like such misrepresentation. It like I have big blisters because moleskin sucks, like straight up. They weren't like this morning. I patched them up and they didn't stay on, and I like pressed them hard and waited for it to, it's just so stupid. But so I think I'm gonna have to cover them up, use my reserve little piece of Leuco tape, take ibuprofen for the pain, and push through the night to get to these 12 miles in, because I don't, otherwise I explain the situation. I'm not going to stay here in Poopville, and it's too early to stop. So I'm currently gravity filtering. It's the highest I think I've ever hung my gravity filter, just how the branch was. But I'm showing you that because this water is what I walked into this lunch with. I was 3/4 of a liter. I carried 1.25 liters for the last 10 miles because there's a 10-mile stretch without water, 9.9 miles. I dumped out the 1/4 extra liter when I had 3 miles left because I realized I wasn't going to need it. And look how little I've drank. Now, I chugged a bunch before I left. I cameled up, as they say, and that's why I peed so much. But I had a pretty good system down of predicting water needs, but there's so many variables. Like, here's a great example. I basically hiked 12 miles on that much water. And now I drank a ton before I left. Or sorry, 10 miles. I walked the last 10 miles on that much water. Now I drank a bunch before I left. But like, now it would be great if I knew I could, if that's all I would need now for the next 10 miles, I could easily dry camp. But like, I don't know. And I've had woken up before where I've pushed the limits on water. I had no water and I had to go on like a night adventure to find some. So side quest, which is way out of the way. So it's a really tough situation, given to right now the time and the distance. Like 12 point some miles is going to put me hours and a couple hours at least after dark, and I don't like setting up camp in the dark. I'm tired of night hiking, but it's too early to stop here, and I don't want to stay here anyways. So yeah, we'll see. It's weird. You can see where I have like the ringworm athlete's foot. So I've been treating every day for the last like 4 nights now with cream in the morning, but it's better. It was so bad a few days ago. It's so much better now, but you can still see the ring. I guess it's ringworm. The only thing keeping me going right now at the moment, because this has turned into kind of a rough day. It's been kind of a rough day. Is 1/10 of a mile from here is mile 2,355, which means I have 300 miles left in 1/10 of a mile. And that is keeping me motivated. This moleskin is literally trash. I'm throwing this piece out. That's how useless it is. Having a very hard time getting moving right now. Just don't want to do it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do 12.5 miles with the way my blisters are hurting and my plantar fasciitis. If I don't do that, that means I need to carry like 3 liters of water, which is like 8 pounds or some bullshit, which is just a stupid way to hike at this point. It's like, if I'm going to do that, the amount of energy exerted going, because it's like uphill the next 3 miles, carrying that much weight, I might as well just do the 12. But like getting up, like I don't even know how I got here on those last few miles with these blisters. It was hurting so bad. I should have stopped sooner to address them. Like, I knew because of how painful it was that those moleskin pieces of shit must have slipped off, but I should have addressed it sooner. It's a real issue right now. I've had a good amount of blisters on this trail, but nothing has hurt the way these are. And my plantar fasciitis is acting up, so I don't know. I'm cold too from staying there. I just feel Just want like a nice warm bath and to lay on a sofa, be under a blanket. About 2 weeks away, maybe 2 to 3 weeks away. Well, just left where I had my lunch break. I'm hobbling and struggling to get any inertia here. Lots of thoughts running through my head. Oh, I could just camp by the water right there. I have not taken any ibuprofen. I think I'm gonna have to. I'm just so annoyed that I'm getting blisters after wearing the shoes for weeks. Why now? 2, I took the time to literally cut out the right patches from that stupid moleskin and treat it, and it didn't do anything because they slid away. So now they're way worse. And 3, my leukotape, as you know, most of it got ruined, or I put it on the wrong type of paper. I had plenty that was working fine, but I do know I'd put it on, I think it was wax paper and parchment paper. Both were supposed to work, but obviously one didn't, or it melted on. So all those factors just really freaking annoying. And now every step is just fairly miserable once again. I'm just moving way too slow right now to make this work. All right. Every step's hurting. It's mostly, I've already explained what it is. I mean, it's rough right now, and it's causing me to go pretty slow, but it's room to celebrate. As of now, I have 300 miles left. And with how I'm feeling at the moment, they can't come soon enough. But more broadly, if I can zoom out and have the perception to remove the frustrations I'm experiencing in the moment, it will definitely be something that I'm sure will fly by and I'll be longing for once it's done. So I do want to try to enjoy as best I can these last few weeks. But 300 miles left to go on the Pacific Crest Trail. It's day 138. It's late September, mid to late September. I think it's like September 18th right now. It has been a grind, and it is not anywhere near over yet, but the motivation, I'm not even counting up anymore. I passed a couple milestones, like 2,200, 2,300, like I'm counting down. 300 miles left. And it's Friday, September 19th for the record. It's a small section here where a lot of these burned trees have been cut down. I don't know if that's forest management or maybe trying to salvage the wood somehow, or it was actually like a fire line to stop spread of fire. But yeah, haven't really seen that for this big of a stretch before. It's like looking ahead, because I can see in the hillside there are some actual trees down, but for the most part it just looks like stumps. Just realized, so earlier I hiked from 6:30, a little before 6:30 a.m. till 2:30 p.m. And I did like a little over 17 miles. That's freaking horrible. That's like 2 miles an hour average. Now obviously my pace is a little faster than that because I'm that's the 2 miles an hour is factoring in all time, including pee breaks and water breaks and rest breaks, but which there weren't many, just that one big one. So that's horrendous. I don't know what's going on. Plantar fasciitis, blisters, just absolute fatigue from 3 weeks straight of pushing hard. I don't know. Elevation, I like up and down, but that's so bad. 298 miles to go. Not gonna lie, for some reason I find this quite unsettling right now. talks about missing person as PCT thru-hiker in 2016. Last seen at the Cracker Barrel store that I was at. I don't know if they found him. I'll have to look that up later. Chris Fowler. I just reached the top of yet another climb, and I'm pretty tired. I pushed hard. I'm halfway through that 12 miles. So it was 11.8 miles. I'm almost exactly halfway through, just a little under, a little more to go. But now it's only like 460 feet or so, more of ascent, so basically nothing, and little over 2,000 of descent. So I just did all the up. Now I'm gonna do all the down. Let me flip the camera here real quick. I really hope things aren't going south here quickly, but like I'm feeling quite beat up. My left stretch fracture feeling thing has been better for like a good week or so, and I stepped once earlier and it felt weird, and it's probably because of the pack weight, and I've been walking different because of that ankle thing I mentioned earlier, and definitely because of these blisters and plantar fasciitis. So it's just all big circular cluster. So my feet, ankles down, are just not feeling strong and good right now at all. And I've got a long ways to go still here. But I'm just gonna keep trekking on until it's unbearable. Yeah, I just checked. So I did 5.8 of the 11.8 miles. So literally 0.1 of a mile less than halfway. Sunset is in an hour and 10 minutes or so. I got 6 miles to go. They're downhill, but that doesn't necessarily mean that much for me. Sometimes I'm even faster uphill, but it just does mean a lot less exertion, which is good. But definitely be hiking in the dark, which I'm really getting tired of doing. But days are getting shorter every day. I'm just disappointed in today. It's just, I got my ass up early and it did not pay off. I don't know, everything I said is why. I just pushed hard this last 6 miles, but the rest of the day it was really a struggle. I didn't end up using leukotape. I think I have a special safety piece somewhere in there, emergency piece. But I saw Band-Aids first, and I've been carrying them this whole time and never used them. So I tried putting those on. And my blisters hurt when I stepped, but not like they were before when they're fully exposed because of that shitty moleskin. And it's manageable. I haven't taken any painkillers. It hurts, but I was at least able to push these last 6. The rest of the day, like I feel exhausted. I've been working hard, but just not cutting it. Otherwise, I'm just gonna have to keep hiking at night, which I hate doing. It just sucks. It's very quiet out here. I mean, the two people I met and I was hiking with earlier today are not coming all the way this way today. And yeah, I think I'm kind of pressing ahead from that whole pack that I was with a couple days ago. So I haven't seen anybody since basically those two people I was walking with. I'm 8 miles from that last water source, and I'm hurting, just taking a little rest on a log here before I finish out these 3.8 miles left. I mentioned earlier when I was at that water source and there were 4 other people, and I was talking about how I hated the trail, the mile leading into it, because it was like a little half pipe and hurting, that pronating and whatever the other one is. I actually thought of what the other word was earlier. Now I can't think of it. But anyways, the one person asked me, Tumble, something, I don't know, basically I mentioned a name of someone she knew back there, and then I said, yeah, there were 16 people that I knew, most of prior to this stretch, that were camped within 5 miles of me 2 nights ago. and she asked who, and so I actually recollected every single person. I was pretty proud of myself. Every person, like most of them, because like, you know, it's kind of hard sometimes if you only met someone a few times. So I would say like where they were from for most of them, or what their real name was, and I was pretty impressed. But yeah, it's kind of wild to think how many people I actually ended up catching up to that I knew and I've seen that are now behind me. And I do wonder if that's sort of like the last lingering bubble in the back there. Like it's definitely not part of the main bubble, or if they're like, it just seems like there's a big gap here now. And the lady wearing a camp next to the horses that same night said there was nobody camped there the night before. So it kind of seems like there might be a little gap here. People, especially with that bottleneck of getting a hitch to here from White Pass, like it probably spaces people out. So what I'm getting at is it was fun little game. I was proud of myself. I could recollect the people, and it was kind of fun naming all these friends I've made. But I don't know if I'll see them if all things go well for me and I keep pushing, because most of them are kind of banking on going into mid to late October. And then also because of how it's staggered with that fire closure and hitch, I don't know how many more people I'm gonna see up here, and thinking that there's kind of like a space or a gap to start with. So it'll be interesting. I heard through the grapevine there was one person I had to meet today that started in front of me today, but probably only by a few miles, that I've met before and I know. So it'd be cool to see him. Dusk is upon us. Sunset was 8 minutes ago. It's pretty dark in the forest here, as you can see. I'm gonna stop in this little patch of light and swap batteries in my headlamp and get situated to get my sunglasses off my neck, that kind of thing. Probably have a little between 2 and 2.5 miles to go. It's kind of eerie how quiet it is. Like you could hear a pin drop. $290 miles left, but who's counting? All right, I've arrived at the side trail to get to this water, and I guess there's camping down in there. So if there's other people, I'm not going to want to be too loud. So if there are, this will be end of day 138. I probably got about 29 painful miles in. Should have not been as hard as it was, but I powered through, lived to fight another day. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Yeah, the Band-Aid didn't really stand either. It definitely helped, but it was kind of off. This is not great. It really hurts there for some reason.